Hello there, it is Pete over at the Samplist, and today we are checking out Vela Woodwinds by Emergence Audio. Emergence Audio are back again, this time with a focus firmly on woodwinds. More specifically, the bass clarinet and Contra Clarinet are getting the infinite motion treatment. The end result is a cinematic sound design library full of ever-evolving pads, drones, pulses, and much more. With the ability to randomise everything in the instrument and create your own presets too, Vela Woodwinds not only sounds superb, but it is expansive too. Vela Woodwinds downloads at 3.93 gigabytes and it runs in the free version of Contact and is NKS compatible. The intro price is $84, and after the intro period is over, it will go up to $129. In this video, we're going to check out the sounds and functionality of Vela Woodwinds, and then I've put it into a composition. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Emergence Audio for sending a copy of Vela Woodwinds ahead of time so we can make this video. While we do get the instruments for free, it doesn't in any way influence our thoughts, ideas, or judgments. We are just working composers giving you our insights. And please, at this point, if you've not hit that subscribe button, please do so. Without further ado, let's jump into Vela Woodwinds. Here we go, we have Vela Woodwinds loaded up in the free Native Instruments Contact Player 8. There's something very dark and brooding to start us off, and that is one of the infinite drones. Let's talk about the GUI first. The GUI is a double layer instrument, so we have the first layer on the left, the second one on the right, and these are kind of mirrored with the global controls in the middle of the GUI. Now, I'm not going to go through every single control. Part of the fun is to sort of play around with the instrument yourself. There is also an effects page, and then we've got the randomise button here, which is my favourite button. In the middle, you can see there is a large dial that is on the mod wheel, but if I just play without the mod wheel really quickly, you'll see it moves automatically. So a lot of these presets are designed with automatic controls as well. And then we've got our ADSR controls, different filters, etc. Lots to play with. Now, let's talk about these presets. There's 187 presets, and if I click on all banks, they are split into bass clarinet and Contra Clarinet. Now, the Contra Clarinet, I'm guessing the other name for it could be contrabass clarinet, which is a fifth lower than a bass clarinet. So these are more low brooding sounds when compared with the bass clarinet. Lovely. So we're going to start off with the bass clarinet, and I'm just going to play a couple of infinite pads. I actually starred data in the waves. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, so I absolutely loved it. And it sounds like this. It's just a very nice cybercrime type pad. And you can hold these down indefinitely. So infinite motion engine, you can play a note for, as long as you need it to. It will never ever stop, and it'll keep evolving. So chords over the stern. Some cool stereo effects going on there. Echo of the Sailmaker. Absolutely beautiful. And you can see it was sort of bouncing around itself on the mod wheel. Lovely stuff. Latitudes of light. I'm just going to play one more. Let's do Velvet Skies. Absolutely beautiful. Right, let's go on to a couple of bass clarinet drones. Creaking Cosmos. And I am essentially just holding down single chords so you can hear how they evolve. Let's do Deep Sea Drift. Again, some really nice stereo effects going on. Let's go Message in a Bottle. Beautiful. And stillness in the air. Yeah, that's really haunting. So I'm actually working on something and that would sound amazing. So I'm just going to favorite that one as I'm going through. Lovely. And then we have Pulses. Again, everything is tempo synced. Let's just do the synths of Vela. Yeah, absolutely love it. I love just seeing this, the instrument in action and everything that's been programmed, because the programming is very, very clever. I've got some swells, so metal scrapes. That's great for horror scoring. I'm going to do Swimming with the Fishes. That's my last one. Brilliant. So very cinematic, very sound design. Yeah, lots of sound design going on. That's what I was trying to get across. I was going to say sound design influence, which makes absolutely zero sense. Very, very clever preset. So I'm only giving you a snapshot, like scratching the surface, really. And then we got experiments. So Orca experiment. Very creative. Let's go with Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, I'm getting a serious, like, horror, creepy vibe going on there. So that is a couple of snapshots from the bass clarinet. If we go to the Contra Clarinet, if we start off with some drones. Now, you'll notice that a lot of these will be lower on the keyboard because the contrabass clarinet is lower than the bass clarinet. I love that one as well. Now, bear in mind, I have already composed with the library, but every time I go through the library, I find more and more sounds that I love. And I should have started the ones I use in the composition. But anyway. Fever Dreams. Very clever. I like it. Let's go for The Light Above. It's almost like woodwind chatter using the staccato. There's a lot of bass going on there. That is ace. Clubs in the Hull. I didn't mean it to rhyme, by the way, but it happened. Clubs in the Hull. Yep, everything is massively, massively? How can you quantify this? It is tempo synced. Yeah. Coming up with some funny words today, or funny phrases. But yeah, so everything's tempo synced, so that rhythm would change depending on the tempo of your DAW. And let's go for some swells. Just double checking I've loaded up the contrabass swells. Let's see. I went to the wrong ones. Swimming with the Fishes. See, the naming conventions are great. And that is very memorable. So, Wavering Horizon Swell. It's just your standard C major chord there. Lovely. Full scale invasion. And then I'll play 2 experiments. So backup generator. opening the hatch. That's crazy. Playing Handball of the Sky as well. I said I'd only do 2, but... yeah, it's very percussive. Really, really like that. And there we go. So that is Vela Woodwinds. Now, a couple of other things just to make note. If I go to all banks and go right to the top, there are the kind of initialized patches. So if you want to do some sound design just using the original sampling, and of course you can change the articulation, and there's quite a few in here. So this is going to be a flutter with staccato. I'm just going to drop the releases down. If I go into the effects page as well, we can turn the convolution reverb off if you want it a bit drier. Which is something I do get asked about after I've made an Emergence audio video, because the sound design is sumptuous. That's probably the best way I can describe it. It is, as I would say, that the presets, they are so well thought out, and people do ask sometimes, can you have the samples completely dry? And of course you can, which is very, very useful. So if I play breath, let's do fast vibrato here and pure vibrato. I'm just going to adjust the release again. Oh, you can also unlink each side if you want to. So you can have a very dry instrument as well with lots of different articulations. And then if I go into the Contra Clarinet and I just hit randomise, in fact, before I hit it, this is what it sounds like. So I'm going to hit randomise. And again. And again. So you can get different sounds out of Vela Woodwinds. And the randomise button is my favourite button because that's always my starting point. I'll hit randomise, get a sound quite close to what I'm thinking about, and then I'll tweak it using all the different controls and effects. Of course, it wouldn't be an Emergence audio library without the addition of some combined patches as well. So if you just click on combined up here, I've already loaded up floating rocks, but there are 12 presets of combined. And these are often more complex, and Floating Rocks, that first one is absolutely gorgeous. Let's play Iron Pings 3. So again, just double click and it will load up. We can see which instances are being used at the top. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's go Lost to then. I'm going to play just some single notes first with this one. Mm. Oh, I do love these combined patches. And I'm going to play one more. Let's go for the Cycle of the Stars. And again, you can see these load really, really quickly. I'm loading off an SSD on this occasion. It's an external SSD. A Samsung T7. Mm. And that is heart-wrenchingly beautiful. So there we go. That is Vela Woodwinds. And we're going to move on to the composition. Now, the composition, I have combined Vela Woodwinds with some other libraries. Now, I've said on many occasions I use a lot of Emergence audio. So for this one, I've used the Infinite Piano. I absolutely love that piano. So much going on. But I didn't use a more textural patch, just a more playable melodic piano. And then I've combined it with some drums, a little bit of sound design. But the majority of the sound you hear, so all of the pads, all of the effects, the pulses, the little swells, everything is from Vela Woodwinds. So this was a 45-minute challenge. I did throw in some orchestral stuff as well, just see how it combines. And it works really, really well. So we're going to check out the composition, and then we're going to go on to my closing thoughts. Here we are once again. It is closing thoughts time, and we're talking about Vela Woodwinds from Emergence Audio. I do use a lot of Emergence Audio libraries in my scoring, and it's great to see that the main parts of the orchestra are now represented in Emergence Audio libraries. So we have strings, we have brass, and now we have woodwinds. And these libraries are very, very creative. They're very well thought out. They're very well sampled. And I love the fact you get so many presets to start you off, and they're all carefully crafted. So it's not like there's 90% of presets you can't use because they're all just so way out there. I never really encounter anything that's unusable in an Emergence Audio library. They all have their place, they're all very interesting. I do love going into the experimental folders as well, something a little bit different. And of course, when you're writing underscore or media music, when you're writing with an orchestra, these textures are absolutely gorgeous and they blend really, really well. they're just really, really usable and very high utility libraries. And then of course you've got the randomise feature. You can create your own sounds and it just makes the libraries bigger and bigger. I've got lots of presets that I've made because I use them in my own compositions, and yeah, it sort of tailors everything for what I want to do. So do I recommend it? I really do. I'm a huge fan of the entire Emergence audio catalogue. I've been using them for years, and yeah, they really are just some of my most used libraries. And for me, that is the proof of if a library is worth the money, because if you're going to use them, they're worth it. If they're a one-trick pony or very, very specific and you hardly use them, then you got to kind of think twice. But these are absolutely brilliant. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Emergence Audio for sending over a copy of Vela Woodwinds so we can make this video. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave a like on the video, and of course drop us a comment. What do you think about Vela Woodwinds? Is it your kind of instrument? Are you going to pick it up? Do you use other Emergence Audio instruments? Let's get a chat going. And if you're not done so already, please check out our other videos on YouTube, and of course hit that subscribe button. We are steadily growing. We're approaching 6,000 subscribers, which we feel for a channel like ours, which is somewhat niche, that is a great achievement for 2.5 years. And then obviously please just keep making music, because that is what it's all about. Until next time, have a great day, and we'll speak again soon.